Hey, everybody. Kenny Heath here with the Whitney Wildcat Sports Network with Coach Haynes, Coach David Haynes, your athletic director and your head football coach of your Whitney Wildcats. Coach, have you settled down yet? Has your blood pressure came down? What a wild game last Friday.
No, it was a wild game. Blood pressure came down after we won, but then it's right back up because I'm trying to win another one. So it's part of it.
Yeah. So I mean, it's if you were into high scoring affairs and if you really didn't have a rooting interest in either team, you'd say, "Oh man, it was a great game regardless." But fun to watch. But I know up in the broadcast booth, man, just dicey. We got up to a 3-score lead a couple of times. And then, man, I guess you just got to give credit to Whitesboro for battling back. And, they were a 4 seed, but and going into the game, they weren't your average 4 seed. We saw the type of teams that they played and how they played them and kind of expected a pretty good game.
Yes, no, they're definitely a good team, young team, well-coached team. They hit us with a couple trick plays. And, I mean – like I said, I'm just proud of our kids for not folding. Like, at any point of that game, they could have been like, you know what, it just ain't meant to be. But they kept fighting. We got to stop when we needed to get a stop, and we scored a touchdown when we needed to score a touchdown. So, again, it wasn't the prettiest, but at the end of the day, a win's a win.
Yeah, and it's crazy because you see all the scoring going on, but really it came down to 2 fourth-down plays. There at the end, Whitesboro unable to convert on their 4th down. And then Whitney with, a minute and a half, minute 40 left, 4th and 2, I believe, and give it to Jonte Johnson. And, man, he plowed ahead and got the first down, and you're able to kneel it out after that.
Yep, I mean, that's exactly it. I mean, making the plays when you're supposed to make a play. I mean, I don't like giving up 55. I like scoring 61. I'll take 61 to 55 all the way to the state championship.
Yeah.
It happens like that every week. So.
Yeah, I agree. We do a podcast and had some people reach out to me, and that was really all they said is, hey, a win's a win. This time of year, you can't draw it up exactly like you want it, but if you get that W, if you're leading when the clock goes 0, that's all you're worried about. Now, you can always go back and work on stuff, but man, you just want to get that win because there's really no tomorrow if you lose. You're going back and airing up basketballs.
Yes, sir.
All right, so that was last week. This week, we're going to be in Rockwall against a pretty good Winnsboro team. We played them a few years ago, 2023. Really good team. And now we got them again in the second round. That is Coach Finney over there, right? Coach Finney at Winnsboro, and I think he does a good job. They've been pretty successful since he's been there. So what are you expecting out of they're the Red Raiders, the Winnsboro Red Raiders this week? And how about on offense? What are you expecting on offense?
They're going to be up-tempo. They kind of give you a little bit of everything as far as they'll condense it down and put a tight end on the field and a fullback and try to smash mouth you. And then they'll spread it out and go doubles and trips and empty and try to air it out. So, like I said, they got a receiver that has world-class speed.
Oh, yeah.
And he can stretch the field. And like I said, so we got to keep an eye on him. And then, of course, I mean, they got, other good athletes. But, I mean, that kid, man, he demands a double team.
So, yeah, that is Camden Capehart. I believe he's committed to Mississippi State. And he's been committed to Mississippi State for a while. He's a state champion in the 100, so definitely got the speed on their side. And we got speed, too, for sure. Defense, what do you expect them to do on the defensive side of the ball?
Oh, they're going to be multiple, man. They're going to be a 4-man front, a 5-man front. They're going to get into a 3-4, a 3-3 stack. They're going to mix it all up. And so we just got to make sure that we identify what front that they're in. As far as our offensive line, they got to identify it so that they can block it. And then we just got to take what they give us. We've been fortunate enough to, get over the top throwing the ball, the last 4 or 5 weeks. And so if somebody says, hey, man, we're going to be see if they can be patient, and we're going to have to be patient with nickeling and diming the ball down the field.
All right, Coach. Hey, let's talk about some stats and stuff for the game against Whitesboro. I kind of forgot to get into that. Kobe had another big game. It was cool to see Dave Campbell's out there, and they interviewed him and Jonte after the game. And I think Kobe had 260 on the ground. Jonte had 200 on the ground. Is that always kind of been what you wanted to do? Just run the crap out of the ball like that, or do you just kind of just take the offense where the talent takes you, or do you like running the ball like that?
No, I mean, I'm real big on balance. Like, I like to throw the ball. I like to run the ball, whatever's working.
Yeah.
But I'm real big on balance. I think that we're good at being balanced. I know that we've ran the ball. Like last week, we ran the ball for over 400 yards and threw it for less than 200. But, I mean, it's taken what the defense gives us. And, like I said, we have really good athletes. And so, when you have two hammers in the backfield, I mean, you got to give them their touches. But, like I said, we got kids, too, that can stretch the field also.
Yeah, and it's funny because a couple of times several times this year, and then I know last week, you get the ball back and you got a lead, and maybe it's before the half or before the game's over. You're like, all right, so hey, we can run the ball, chew up a lot of clock, and then you run the ball, and then second play of the game, either Jonte or Kobe pops one for 60 and scores, and you're like, well, we scored, but we didn't really chew up a whole lot of clock. I always think that's funny because me and Ryan both will say, all right, we got the ball here, let's chew up some clock, and then all of a sudden, boom, we're gone for a 60-yard touchdown and use 15 seconds of the clock up and give the ball back to them.
Yes, sir. It's kind of funny, and sometimes it drives me crazy. I know it drives our defense crazy because they just get off the field and then they have to get back on there. And so, but I mean, I've been a defensive coordinator with this type of offense with the up tempo, and you're scoring in 3-4 plays. And it's just part of it. But when your offense is clicking and you can get up, 2 or 3 scores, you can dang near predict what the other team's offense is going to do.
Yes, sir. And so, Kobe had a great game. Jonte, KJ O'Hearn had a great game. Defensive side of the ball, I know we gave up some points, but I really thought Jackson Landrum had another game back-to-back, really good game against West, had another good game last week. Who else kind of stood out on the defensive side of the ball for you?
Jordan McGill, man, he is really good on the defensive line. He's good on the offensive line also. The way he uses his hands and he's got like how he shoots his hips, man, he's really, really good. Of course, Aiden Albright, man, he is a difference maker. When you see him, like I say, you don't think much, but man, he has the biggest heart in the world, and he's going to give you everything that he's got. I got to give Bryson McManaway some love too, man. He went from, not starting until we had an injury, and, man, he's played good the last 2 or 3 weeks, but I'm really proud of the way that he played against Whitesboro as far as stopping the run. Just overall as a defense, we just got to make sure that, we read our keys and slow down the big play or the trick play.
Yeah, like you said, they did come with a bunch of trick plays. One thing that I've noticed about Bryson McManaway is, man, he looks the part. Wearing number 50, he looks like a linebacker out there. Stocky dude, stout. Glad to see him take advantage of his opportunity here.
Yes, no, he's a great kid, very respectful. He's just a sophomore, and he's getting better each and every week. And then one thing that I love about him is after practice, he'll ask me, how did he do today? What can he do to be better? What does he need to do to become a starter? And, I mean, we tell our kids all the time, be ready, because you don't know when your card is going to be called. And so he stepped up to the plate, and he's had, 2 or 3 really good games.
All right, Coach, good luck Friday night as you and the team and the band and the cheerleaders and the drill team, all that travel up to Rockwall. Hope we get that dub and everybody gets home safe and sound.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, and go Wildcats.